yo, gamer check.
My darling, I love you, 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 I love you.
What's going on, guys? It's Jason Mayo here, otherwise known from some people as Jamili. I'm known as Gordon Gecko, I'm known as a couple other names, but let's go with Jamili or Jason for now. This is going to be my new computer build, my new streaming setup. I'm going to start off with the DeepCool Matrix 70 case. I got it because I'm a sucker for tempered glass. I mean, look at it. Look at it. It's so beautiful. Oh, tempered glass. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's tinted and everything. I got a big side panel over here. But also because I love RGB and I love fans. Okay? So I got this H150i Pro Corsair AIO, which is an all-in-one cooler. Okay? It's water cooled, but it's simply put together, all assembled, and everything done by Corsair. So I'm not taking anything apart, but it's going to have some pretty good cooling results. I also have, for RAM, I have the Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro. This is 3000 megahertz, and I got two 8GB sticks, so I have 16 gigs in total. Put that there. Okay. I got the i7-8700K Intel processor, okay? I decided not to go with a 9900 or anything like that, 9900K. Simply because they're an i9, because this was more in my price point, and I really won't get, essentially I'm not going to bottleneck my computer in one way or another. So I thought between this and my graphics card, I thought it'd be a perfect matchup, especially for the price. Saved me about $150 between the i9s and the i7s. For power, I decided to go more is better, and obviously gold. So this is a RM850X by Corsair, okay? It's a 80 plus gold, 850 watt power supply, okay? And I believe it is all modular. I believe that's the word for it. Let's look. Yeah, I believe it's modular, so I can take it apart. All the cords aren't connected, so I can move some stuff around. Logitech keyboard. I have Logitech G502 Hero mouse. So I thought, hey, RGB, Logitech's always a good brand. I haven't had a problem with them before or recently. So I thought this would be a good keyboard. Put that over there. Mechanical, again, RGB, it's wired, so why not? And it was half price on Amazon, Black Friday sale. So my two gems of the build are right here. I have my ROG, which is Republic of Gamers Strix Z390E motherboard by Asus. I got this one again because it was on sale. I mean, I was going to get the, I believe it's the H version of this, but it was actually with the sale, it was the same price, and this has built-in Wi-Fi if I want it, so I was like, might as well. Worst case scenario, I need to move this bad boy. But, and RGB, again, I want this bad boy glowing with all the glass and everything else. I want the fans moving and everything else like that. And then this is the Asus GeForce RTX 2070 Super. This is the gem of my build personally. It was the last thing to get here. It literally took forever. Everything was sold out. There was no sales on it, so I just had to bite the bullet and finally get it. So very, very happy with this one right here. I'm about to plug it all in. For SSD, because I'm going to put my Windows on here, I'll put a couple things on here like Discord and Steam, so I don't have to wait the extra, milliseconds loading time. But I got a 970 EVO SSD by Samsung, a 500 gigabyte. I thought this would be more than enough, and I can always add to it in the future. But what I also got, I got a Seagate 3 terabyte regular hard drive. I'm not sure if it's an HDD or HD, I don't know what they call them, but this is going to be my main for videos or pictures or editing or any other crap I need to throw on my computer, and again, I can always add more if I decide to. So I thought this was a good starting point, especially for the price. The price point was really unmatchable. When it comes to the actual streaming setup, when it comes to just the mic and stuff, I got a blue Yeti right here on a nice little stand tucked in the corner. I have a Logitech webcam. C309 or C309 or something like that. I'll put it in the description or I'll put it up on the page so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's excellent. Corded, long cord. I bought a nice little tripod for it for $5 and called it a day. So that's going to be just for my main video for the time being. I also do have a wicked monitor. So I got a Samsung 32-inch curved 2K monitor, 144 hertz. So that way I got the peak of gaming. I don't have any lag or anything like that, or I can reach the high FPS, especially if I'm running a 2070 Super. Now, what I did decide to bite the bullet on for the monitor was the response time. The reality is, from what I've researched through building this and picking all my parts, is a 1 millisecond and a 4 millisecond and a 5 millisecond response time. The reality is you can't even blink that quickly, right? So what real difference is it going to make? And from what I've also read, 1 millisecond is actually 3 milliseconds. 3 milliseconds is 5. So I bit the bullet. I got 4 milliseconds, but I got everything else I wanted. I got curved, I got 32 inches, and I got 144 hertz. So I'm super happy about that. Essentially, what I'm going to do to start off this build is start with the motherboard. From what I've seen, I haven't actually built a computer before. So this is all winging it from videos and research and stuff like that I've done. So I'm going to start with this beauty right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the motherboard. It's an Asus ROG Strix V390E, okay? And what I'm going to be first doing with that is obviously installing my processor. It's going to be a main component here. i7-8700K. I'm going to be installing my M2 SATA memory, SSD, and as well I'm going to be installing my Corsair RAM onto this motherboard. And you guys are going to watch me do that, so let's get to it. Alright guys, we're going to, again, like I said, we're going to start with the ROG Strix motherboard. This is what it looks like, quick view. A little bit of the back. I love the boxing, it's just gorgeous. I'm an Asus fan, diehard fan really. My first computer ever with Asus. But look at that packaging, just gorgeous. Let me pull this out right here. This is actually, I kind of took a sneak peek at this box a little bit beforehand. This is an RGB strip, I'm pretty sure. Time for the main surprise, which is the motherboard. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm wearing this blue thing. It's what we call, it's a static bracelet. I haven't built a computer before. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So essentially what it is it controls the voltage in your body and between the stuff you're touching, so that way you're grounded, just like a car battery or something. If you touch the ground, you're completely fine, but if you put them together, obviously you get sparks and whatnot. So I don't want to fry anything or my electronics, so I'm just having this touching metal so I don't have to do it every once in a while. Alright guys, this is the motherboard. So something I learned, obviously your RAM and whatnot goes here. Something I learned is this piece right here, where you would put your processor, in my case my i7. This is actually, if there's something wrong with the motherboard or anything like that, you actually need this piece if you plan to ever return it, okay? So make sure that you keep this. So I'm gonna put this right there on the packaging, okay? And what you do is, there you go, boom, okay? We got this beautiful i7-8700K. Boomy. There it is. Alright guys, i7-8700K going into the motherboard. There it is. Well, you want to make sure it's, secure, right? Put this back on, clamp it down, and boom, there you go. You're good to go. Next thing we're going to start with, guys, is going to be the Corsair RAM Vengeance RGB Pro 3000 megahertz. So guys, when you're putting in RAM, I only bought 2 sticks. So there's obviously 4 slots. So if you're going to put in RAM with, if you have a motherboard with 4 slots and you're going to put in only 2 sticks of RAM, you cannot put them side by side, like 1 and 2, okay? You can't put them here and here. It just won't process that way, it just won't work. So what you have to do is either 1 and 3 or 2 and 4. Okay, what I've decided to do, I'm probably just gonna do 1 and 3. 1 and 3, sounds pretty easy. And essentially, pop these bad boys open. Look at that, beautiful. So we got our 2 sticks of RAM here. Each is an 8GB stick, so we got 16 gigs of RAM. Again, what you do is, excuse me, just gotta pop these. Oh, okay, I guess you only gotta pop this side. Yeah. I guess. There it is. Gotta give, I don't want to push it too hard again. It's my first time building, so I'm not trying to break anything, obviously. But, gotta give it a little tough love. When I get in there. There it is. Boom. RAM is set up. Right. Alright guys, it took me a second, but the SSD M2 slots are actually under this little shroud. I already took it off, but that's how it looked. So, I only have one one SSD. So all I'm gonna do is all I do is here is pop it in. Boom, it's in. That's simply it. If you wanted another one, you could put another one in if you would like to. But essentially then you just put the shroud back on. Oh, excuse me. I saw this label, so I gotta remove this. Screw these bad boys in. If I can, I mean. Alright guys, this is what the motherboard should look like before you put it into the case. I have my processor put in, I have my RAM put in, and I have my SSD put in. Everything else I'm gonna add once it's in the case. Okay, there was a fan here I had to take out just so I could fit it, just for ease of access. But the cool thing about this case is there are some holes that line up, but essentially you just want your, I believe this is called the PCB, but I could be wrong. Essentially where your Ethernet, your HDMIs, all your stuff is, you need to come out of this hole, right? And there'll be a designated hole specifically, obviously, for each motherboard, each case, right? So you just line everything up. And for me, there's multiple screw brackets. It took me a second because they had all the mixed up screws, like 5 different types of screws, all in one bag. So I had to organize them and get them all situated and good to go. But now they are, so I'm using the smallest screws possible to install my motherboard. I'm gonna do everything slowly. And I'm gonna do the corners first so I don't do any bending or anything like that. Cause you don't want to and I'm not over tightening, okay? I'm leaving about like a quarter to a half of a turn in each screw, cause then once they're all installed, then I'll go back in and add the other turns to tighten them completely. What's going on, guys? I just did some of the wiring, I got the motherboard installed, everything's good to go there, just got some of the wiring done up. What I'm going to install now is going to be the AIO, which is a all-in-one cooler, okay, by Corsair. It's 320 millimeter fans and a 360 millimeter radiator, and I believe as well, when putting this on the processor, it's going to have its own thermal paste, I believe. I hope so, because I don't have any. So, let's figure it out. Alright guys, now I figured out how to get the box open up. Let's take this stuff and put it over there. There's the radiator. Boom, big, beautiful. Okay. We got the tubes, which are a braided mesh type of material. I don't know the exact name, but I know it is of good quality. Corsair, I heard, is one of the best coolers, one of the best companies for coolers. I've always heard good things about them. So, that's what I decided to do, since we were going with the Corsair RAM, we were going with all that other stuff. It is technically water cooling, okay, without the extra $1,000 added into water cooling and the possibility of it getting screwed up. by human error. Okay, so unless Corsair made a malfunction or something like that, it should be good to go. This is all going to be glowing as well, which is quite nice. Alright, I'm going to get this all installed, and then I will get back to you. Alright guys, so I installed the radiator right up here. All installed. Now I just got to install these big, nice 120s, 120 millimeter fans, Corsair, right here, and then they're going to route right into here. So I'm going to go do that now, and alright guys, so now we got the radiator installed with the fans, okay? Hopefully I put them in the right way. They're supposed to be sucking air into the case and up, out through the top. Alright, let me stop right here real quickly and save myself and you guys some misery. As I'm watching this, and as I'm saying, oh, I hope I have the fans installed the right way. I only found out afterwards, after plugging it in, after getting everything set up, that it wasn't pulling the hot air out. It was blowing cool air in, or just regular air in. That wasn't really cool. So, after all the wiring, after all the screwing of the screws and everything else, I had to go and uninstall everything and get it back. But we got it done. Everything works. It's all good. I just wanted to throw this in here. Is what it says in the installation guide. I'm going to play with it a little bit, but that's besides the point. Now we're going to add the Corsair Waterblock, right, or the block to it. Now Corsair does have their own thermal paste, so I'm just going to leave it as is, as well as this is super easy to install. All I did was added a back plate that you guys can probably see it right around here. So I added just a quick back plate, screwed right into my motherboard, super easy. And then now this simply just screws directly in to there. Alright guys, so now I'm going to install the power supply. I wanted to get everything set up in here to see what room I was dealing with. And my cable management situation, how that was going to be. I haven't installed the graphics card yet either. So I want to get this installed so that way I can kind of start building my pipeline, if you will, of cables. So let me unbox this real quick for you guys. Big old manual. Look at that thing. Show me. Beautiful. Beautiful unboxing. Beautiful. But what we're gonna do is, from my knowledge, I'm gonna have this fan facing down, actually, so that it's not circulating any air within the unit. Because normally you want it facing away from any components you have. So I don't want it up, so the only other option is down because of the angle it is set up at. There you go. Got that all set in there. Zip ties. Powered by Corsair. Got some nice little stickers and stuff. And then got your massive bag of all your wires. So I'm gonna start cabling this thing up, and I'll get back to you guys when it's all done. Alright guys, now it's time to add the graphics card. I did skip couple steps, didn't put them on camera. One of them was simply cable management, because it was kind of a pain in the ass, or pain in the butt, pain in everything, okay? And the second thing was I simply installed my hard drive, my 3 terabyte Seagate hard drive, which was simply putting it in the shelf and plugging it in. So I didn't think that was that important. I feel like anyone could figure that out. But it's time for the graphics card. Asus 2070 Super ROG Strix. This is the piece that I was waiting for the longest. This is the piece that I was the most excited about, and the piece that I did the most research on. Because for 4K and for 2K, this, for essentially $500 less, $400 less, gives you the same results as the 2080 Super or 2080 Ti. So, again, I mean, I had somewhat of a budget when it came to building this, so this was my go-to, and it seems like the best graphics card on the market right now for the price tag and for the options. I'll be able to run 1080p ultra settings at over 140 FPS, 2K, I've seen some games be able to play over 140 FPS, and then for 4K, it's running roughly at 60, give or take 60 FPS. So, let me give it a real quick unboxing, alright? Look at that. Gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous. Strix. We're Strixed out over here. Ooh. Look at that. Asus. Booming. Speed setup. Look at that gorgeous piece of machinery. Look at that. I got the triple fan. Literally for the same price, I could have got the double fan one, but I was like, you might as well go for it, you know? Beast. Look at that back plate. It's literally cold to the touch, all metal, just an animal. This monstrosity of a graphics card. Look at this. Whoo! GeForce RTX, Republic of Gamers. Yeah, give me the. Oh. There it is. Look at that. Look at the heat sink on that bad boy. Just massive. This again, this back plate is just nuts. Asus does not play around when it comes to. I swear they're probably one of the best people on the market besides Aorus, maybe at EVGA, I don't know how you would call it, but I'm gonna get this bad boy installed real quickly. They gave me some straps. I don't need these ones, but we got some straps. But I'm gonna get this thing installed and then I'll get back to you guys. Go check it out. Come look. Look at it. Look at it.
This is so
So sick. Yeah. Woo! Hard work pays off. Alright guys, this is going to be the last segment of my video, just showing off the full stream setup. So what I got here is, as you can see, I got the PlayStation and the TV set up on the desk. Let me see if I can flip this around even. What my setup with was this L-shaped desk. And I thought it'd be perfect because obviously, well, the way my setup is right now, there is obviously a couple of issues. One being the Ethernet cable, that blue cable right down there, is in the secondary bedroom. So, it does leave me having to have my computer in the case and everything either there or on the floor. And I'm not going to have it on the floor because my dogs love peeing on this floor, so I'm not going to have it on the floor. So we got the computer right there. Obviously that's that O-ring for light if I need it. There's the case. It's not on right now, so it's just in resting. So not all the RGB's on. Really love it. Excuse my cable management for the time being. Again, I was just playing around and trying to set everything up. Beautiful monitor. I love it. It just fits perfectly right there. It fits so well when you just look at the screen. It doesn't hurt your eyes or anything. It's great. Absolutely great. Keyboard, obviously, and you should see it all lit up. I have a video of that as well. I'll add in. Mouse. Got the camera right there, and then the Yeti. And how everything shows up, this is my second screen, so I have the 43-inch TV as my secondary screen. It's 1080p at 60 frames, so again, no gaming on here. I have my YouTube up, I'll have my OBS software up, or I'll be playing a little bit of PlayStation. And then really the only other thing I need for the setup, I would say, was obviously either a longer Ethernet cord or a better setup, so it doesn't have to be right there. I mean, look how janky this is. Let's see. See if we can turn this on. Look, it's janked through the wall to a connector under the door. So, definitely not the best setup if I could, if I could change it. And then, what I do want to add, obviously, better chair. I'm bumming it right now with the chair. And I guess the only other thing that we need to do is update Windows and actually have the full version of Windows. And besides that, that's it, you guys. That's the full setup. Thanks again for watching the video. Again, I'm Jason Mayo, or the Curry King is what I go by on Twitch and through my YouTube channel. Feel free and check back, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you can watch me play a little bit more on the setup. All the items that I purchased to make this setup possible, I'm going to link in the description below, mostly through Amazon, and I live in Mexico, so mine's Amazon Mexico. But if you live in the US, it's actually cheaper. So kudos for you, less shipping and all that. But hit the like, subscribe button. I'll see you on the next video. And I'm gonna watch my gameplay.